Good morning, and welcome to this year's Service Academy Day, hosted by Congressman Filimon Vela. I would like to begin our program with the posting of the colors presented by cadets from Veterans Memorial Early College High School.
Presenting the colors today are the Veterans Memorial Early College High School Marine Corps JROTC Color Guard, led by Cadet First Lieutenant Juan Sanchez.
Colors, halt. Present. Colors. Carry. Colors. Ready. Cut.
Reciting the Pledge of Allegiance is Cadet Lance Corporal Joshua Johnson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Veterans Memorial Junior Marine ROTC cadets, and a special thanks to their instructor, First Sergeant Christine Ramos, and Principal Dr. Linda Gallegos. And now we will hear remarks from Congressman Vela.
I'm Congressman Filimon Vela, and it's an honor to virtually join you today. As your representative in Washington, D.C., I have the privilege of nominating students to 4 of the 5 service academies each year. Attending a U.S. Service Academy comes with the obligation and commitment to serve in the military for a minimum of 5 years upon graduation. Like many of you, those selected are well-rounded in leadership, academics, and athletics. Over the past several years, I have met with students who have been accepted into the service academy of their choosing and seen them excel in their journey of becoming one of our country's future leaders. I look forward to seeing you succeed in this journey as well. Please know my office is ready to help answer any questions you may have and help assist you through this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Vela. The service academies offer a top-rated education. Here is a video describing what each service academy has to offer.
Academy at Colorado Springs, the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, Academy at Annapolis, the Coast Guard Academy at New London, and the Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point. These are America's service academies, the five-pointed star. Each year, thousands of cadets and midshipmen enter our nation's service academies. They come from all walks of life and bring with them a variety of experiences. The common thread is to be challenged at the highest levels and serve our country in the most noble of professions. Cadets and midshipmen at America's service academies accept a lifestyle that is unique and demanding. Though they differ in terms of their history and missions, the military academies have more in common than most people think. The service academies all offer a rigorous 4-year program. Their main focus is on developing leaders to serve our nation in peace and during conflict. Every cadet and midshipman receives a fully funded education, including tuition, room and board, and health care. And upon graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree, they are commissioned as officers in the uniformed services. Each academy is rated as a top undergraduate college. All offer majors in engineering, math, science, and the humanities. When cadets and midshipmen graduate, they take with them lasting friendships. They forge lifetime bonds under the intense pressure and the high moral and ethical standards demanded by our service academies. They are prepared to rely on each other to get the job done. Our academies are not only focused on providing a first-class education, but on training and leading. Cadets and midshipmen are a part of a very special team, America's team. These are the young men and women we turn to in order to maintain our national defense. It's a big job, but these academy grads are very well prepared. We look for well-rounded candidates, individuals who demonstrate character, academic prowess, physical toughness, and the potential not only to excel at the academy, but also to excel as officers after graduation and likely make a career of the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or Merchant Marine. A healthy balance of these assets is considered by our admission boards. Cadets and midshipmen are taught by men and women who are top in their field. The ratio of students to teachers is among the lowest in the nation. The primary mission for instructors and professors is classroom teaching. Equipment is state-of-the-art. The unique challenges are unmatched. No other school offers the range of opportunities available at a service academy. In keeping with a famous quote by General Douglas MacArthur, that on the fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that on other fields, on other days, will bear the fruits of victory. All cadets and midshipmen are athletes, and every athlete is challenged. The academies share a belief that the competition and teamwork learned on the playing fields reinforce the team spirit needed to get the job done. At the service academies, there is both an officer and undergraduate chain of command. Cadets and midshipmen have a chance to develop and practice personal leadership skills. To be a leader, you must learn to follow. That's why upperclassmen have a great responsibility in training lowerclassmen. It's about becoming a leader who will inspire respect and obedience even under the most trying of circumstances. Our cadets and midshipmen are taught how to keep their heads when things get tough, to make the right decision the first time. They see what is required and make sure it is carried out, learning through their mistakes. The principal rule of conduct is based on honor. Cadets and midshipmen do not lie, cheat, or steal. Just as they learn to use the most advanced technology in the world, these young men and women also develop an inner confidence that keeps them pointed on the path of honor and integrity. In the process, cadets and midshipmen join a long and distinguished line of academy graduates. These graduates inspire on the strength of their vision and the courage of their team. Service Academy graduates excel in every sphere of influence, from general and admiral to government leaders and captains of industry. Some say that much of the history taught at the academies was made by graduates who went before. Our country expects a great deal from our cadets and midshipmen to make them the best in their chosen field. Academy graduates prove worthy of this assessment by the way they perform their postgraduate service opportunities. It all comes down to this: for those who want to reach their potential, they have the help they need to find it. America's Service Academies, the Five-Pointed Star. In 1954, just 7 years after the founding of the Air Force, President Dwight D. Eisenhower directed the establishment of the United States Air Force Academy. Located near Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Academy nestles against the eastern slopes of the majestic Rocky Mountains with a campus covering 18,000 acres. Our proud heritage includes the accomplishments of military aviation pioneers like Billy Mitchell, Hap Arnold, and Benjamin O. Davis. Air Force Academy alumni include a Medal of Honor recipient, a congresswoman, and several astronauts. The mission of the United States Air Force Academy is to educate, train, and inspire men and women to become officers of character, motivated to lead the United States Air Force in service to our nation. To that effort, we strive to attract highly qualified, diverse candidates from varying backgrounds who will strengthen and enrich the cadet learning environment and prepare our graduates to lead a global expeditionary air force. The Academy is guided by the Air Force's core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do, and based on the 4 pillars of military training, academics, athletics, and character development. Air Force Academy cadets hone their leadership skills through a variety of airmanship, immersion, exchange, and summer training programs. Whether it's participating in the world's premier aviation program, with 90% of the soaring instructor pilots and free fall parachute instructors being cadets, traveling across the globe for one of our many immersion or exchange programs, or shadowing an active duty member at an operational Air Force base, cadets take these experiences well into their Air Force careers. Each cadet may choose from over 30 academic majors and several minors with courses in engineering, basic sciences, social sciences, and humanities. No matter which path they decide, USAFA cadets are prepared for a future in the Air Force. Since every cadet is an athlete, all will participate in either intercollegiate, intramural, or club competition at the highest levels. Nearly 24% of our cadets compete at the Division I level. And we are rated #1 nationally for athletic opportunities for women. As a future officer, character development is a key part of an Air Force Academy's cadet experience.
When you exit that bus, you took the first step that every member of the Long Blue Line is taking. Do not disappoint those that came before you. Standards are set much higher for you now. You've chosen to sacrifice your personal pride for your brothers and sisters in arms.
The Academy is proud of having more than 200 hours of character development training courses covering human relations and leadership, along with many other emphasis areas. After 4 challenging yet rewarding years, Air Force Academy graduates earn a Bachelor of Science degree and a commission as second lieutenants. The education and training of America's future leaders is paramount. Let the United States Air Force Academy be the path to joining the world's premier air, space, and cyberspace force. The United States Military Academy at West Point. The name evokes feelings of pride and achievement. Located on 16,000 acres of quiet hills, woods, and fields in the beautiful Hudson River Valley, West Point has been training the Army's future leaders for more than 200 years. Although located in the tranquility of the Hudson Valley, New York City, the home of Wall Street, Broadway, and Lady Liberty, is less than an hour's drive from West Point. Since the Military Academy's founding in 1802, West Point has defined leadership in academics, in physical fitness, in military training, and in selfless service to the nation. Consistently ranked among our nation's top colleges and world-renowned for its leadership development, West Point combines cutting-edge technology and educational innovation in state-of-the-art facilities at this historic site. Both past and present, the long gray line is full of warrior scholars dedicated to our nation and inspired to serve a cause higher than themselves. The core curriculum at West Point stresses the fundamentals of engineering and military leadership. West Point was our nation's first engineering school, and its engineering programs are still ranked among the best in the country. But cadets can choose from among more than 35 majors, including computer science, information technology, foreign languages, and economics. Opportunities are also available for research and study, both across the United States and around the world. In addition to semester abroad and military academy exchange programs, cadets might spend time in the summer on advanced individual academic development projects, such as researching renewable energy in Uganda, studying rotorcraft aeroelasticity in Hampton, Virginia, researching virtual reality cognitive performance in Marina del Rey, California, or participating in language and cultural immersion in countries like France, China, Tajikistan, or Brazil. Fitness is a key component for every Army officer, so naturally the Military Academy places a high value on physical training. The Military Academy hones cadets' abilities within a strong moral, ethical framework. They are taught how to think, not what to think. And when they emerge as Army officers, they will be soldier scholars, critical thinkers, and creative problem solvers, prepared for the extraordinary responsibility faced by leaders of character in service to our nation. For more than 2 centuries, the United States Military Academy at West Point has developed leaders of character, inspired to serve, providing an education rich in military excellence, steeped in tradition, and strengthened by moral, ethical principles. This is not just the Army's academy, it's America's academy, a place that embodies the time-honored values of our nation. This is the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. On the banks of the Severn River and Chesapeake Bay, midshipmen earn a college degree and a commission as an ensign in the U.S. Navy or a second lieutenant in the U.S. Marine Corps. The Naval Academy emphasizes academics, physical training, leadership, and character to develop students from around the country to be leaders for our nation. Attending college in an environment of proud naval history and tradition, balanced with cutting-edge technology, makes the Naval Academy a truly unsurpassed experience. Our students choose from 24 majors in 3 concentrations: humanities and social sciences, math and sciences, and engineering and weapons. The Naval Academy is routinely ranked as one of the best engineering schools in the country, and all of our students earn a Bachelor of Science degree upon graduation. Outside the classroom, every midshipman is an athlete, competing in varsity, club, or intramural sports. The Naval Academy is the 3rd largest NCAA athletic program in the country, with over 30 Division I sports available. More than 120 extracurricular activities are available to accommodate a variety of personal interests, from musical ensembles and service organizations to academic and cultural clubs to adventure activities like skydiving, scuba diving, and mountain climbing. Midshipmen live in one of the largest single dormitories in the world, Bancroft Hall. Living and operating in units of about 150 students known as companies, midshipmen develop a tight bond with their fellow shipmates that lasts a lifetime. Midshipmen dine in King Hall, which feeds family-style meals to the entire student body of over 4,000 students in one single setting. Directly outside the main gate of the Naval Academy lies the city of Annapolis, the bustling state capital of Maryland. This exciting and energetic sailing city is full of unique restaurants, musical venues, and shops for students to enjoy.
From this exceptional educational environment in Annapolis, graduates of the Naval Academy go on to serve as surface warfare officers, submariners, pilots, special warfare operators, and Marines in exciting locations such as San Diego, Seattle, the Atlantic coast of Virginia, North Carolina, and Florida, as well as Hawaii, Japan, Italy, and numerous exciting locations around the globe. No matter where in the world they end up, officers from the Naval Academy apply the lessons learned in the past to shape the future of the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps. If you want an excellent education followed by an exciting and rewarding career leading sailors and Marines, consider the United States Naval Academy, where we produce leaders to serve the nation.
The United States Coast Guard Academy is located approximately halfway between
We're gonna- Our apologies, we are having technical difficulties with the video, but we will start up shortly. Please welcome Sally Lara, our Service Academy Coordinator, who will discuss the requirements for Service Academy nominations from Congressman Vela.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sally Lara, and I am the Service Academy Coordinator for Congressman Vela. On your screen, you will find my contact information. Should you need any assistance regarding the nomination process or information regarding the academies themselves, please feel free to reach out to me via email or by phone. The process of applying to one or more academies begins with meeting several eligibility requirements, such as citizenship, age, and obligations. With the Academy's requirements met, completing and submitting an admission application is the next step. After submission of your Academy application, you should contact your U.S. representative, in this case, Congressman Filimon Vela, and request a consideration for a nomination to the Academy of your choice. The nomination process is a competitive one and consists of submitting an application as well as providing supporting documentation by a given deadline. This year, the deadline for submission of all documentation to Congressman Vela's office is November 19th. The application, as well as a list of supporting documentation that Congressman Vela requires, can be found on his website, vela.house.gov, or by contacting one of his offices. The Congressman has district offices located in Brownsville, San Benito, Weslaco, and Alice. It is of the utmost importance to request a nomination, as all of the academies, except for the U.S. Coast Guard Academy, require one. Lastly, it is very important to stay in contact throughout the entire process with both the academies and the representative's office that you requested a nomination from, so that all required documentation is submitted and to ensure that no deadlines are missed. Again, thank you for joining us today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me directly via email or by phone at 956-276-4497. Please welcome back Ms. Marisela Cortez.
Thank you, Sally. I am honored to welcome our guests from the U.S. Service Academies. If you have a question for any of our presenters, please type it into the chat box and they will be answered during the question and answer session. First, we will hear from Colonel Mike McClung and Second Lieutenant Juan M. Ramos with the U.S. Air Force Academy.
Thank you and good morning, everybody. I'm Second Lieutenant Juan Ramos. I am a recent 2020 graduate and also an admissions advisor for the United States Air Force Academy. Ma'am, am I gonna pull up my own slides or are you guys gonna have the ones that I sent?
Yeah, if you could pull them up, that would be great.
Okay. Let me get that ready then. Oop. Okay. All right. So once again, everybody, like I said, I've got with me also our admissions liaison officer, Colonel McClung, so he'll be able to answer any questions as we go along as well. And once again, I'm Lieutenant Ramos, and we are representatives from the admissions department here at the United States Air Force Academy. And let's just start off with a beautiful picture of the campus. Like the video said, we're located in beautiful Colorado Springs, Colorado, right at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Beautiful campus. If you're an outdoorsy type of individual, you love all those outdoor activities, Colorado is an excellent state for you. There's a ton to do, but we're also really close to some of those big cities like Denver and Colorado Springs, if that's a little more your speed. Like the video also, as Bill mentioned, our mission statement here at the Air Force Academy is to educate, train, and inspire men and women to become officers of character, motivated to lead the United States Air and Space Forces in service to our nation. This is what we aim to do. This is the whole point that the Academy was founded. So if you're looking to become a commissioned officer in the Air Force and now the Space Force as well, then the United States Air Force Academy is that premier route to take. And the way we achieve our mission statement here at the Air Force Academy is through what we call the whole person development concept. And as a student at the Air Force Academy, throughout all 4 years, we're going to develop you in 3 key areas. Those 3 key areas being academics, athletics, and then your military training. And we do that to help build a foundation of having excellent character and also improving your leadership style and your leadership skills as well. In terms of academics, we're consistently a top-ranked school. We offer a ton of majors in just about every single subject you can think of. All that offered at a traditional university. All of our students are taking 91.5 semester hours of core classes, which also helps us have our students graduate with that Bachelor's of Science, regardless in what major you decided to pursue. In terms of athletics, we offer 3 athletic programs here at the Air Force Academy. We offer our NCAA Division I sports teams. We offer our club sports teams, and then Squadron Intramurals, which is that intra-body student competition. In terms of our D1 teams, we have 17 men's teams and 10 women's teams. We actually offer the most women teams in any university in the country. So that's really, really cool. That's really, really excellent that we're leading the way in that. So we offer just a ton of every single sport you can think of in the NCAA. What's nice about being a recruited athlete at the academy is that your scholarship, necessarily to say, is not tied to you being on the team. So if you're a recruited athlete for the academy, you decide to leave the team for whatever reason, maybe you want to focus on school, maybe you want to try something new. Don't worry, you're not going to have to leave the academy. You're not going to lose your scholarship because first and foremost, you're a cadet. If you're interested to see which teams are offered at the academy, I highly encourage you visit our athletic website at goairforcefalcons.com. You'll be able to find all the information on all our sports teams, what sports are offered, and also start that recruiting process if that's something that you'd like to pursue. And then in terms of military training, obviously, like the video did an excellent job of describing, military training goes on every single day here at the Air Force Academy in one way or another. We have annual parades, military exercises almost daily after school and sometimes on the weekends. You're going to have excellent preparation to become a really well-developed officer into the Air Force or the Space Force as well. So it's a really, really exciting time to be at the Air Force Academy. And I just want to highlight maybe the thing that sets the academy apart in comparison to the other service academies are our airmanship programs. We offer a ton. We have our jump program. If you're interested in being a pilot, we've got a couple of programs that'll put you in the seat of an aircraft through our glider and our powered flight program. We have a space program as well with our Falcon Set program, and a drone program, and we also have a cyber program, just to name a few. And then in terms of the application, this is just a general overview of what the application process looks like. We have a 5-pronged process. First and foremost, you got to be academically competitive. There's only 1,100 slots, so you have to be, it's a very competitive school to get into. You also have to be physically qualified. Physical fitness is a very important facet of the Air Force Academy, and you do take a semester fitness test every semester. You also have to be medically qualified, so you get that physical done through DODMERB, to make sure that you're healthy enough to serve in the military. And then you also have to have shown examples of character and leadership, mainly through extracurricular activities is usually the most common examples we see. And then the whole reason why we're here as well, you have to secure that nomination. It's very important that you secure a nomination, whether that be through your U.S. representative, the 2 state senators, the vice president, and then if you're a military dependent, you might be eligible for the presidential nomination as well. And then just to end off the presentation here, if you're interested in applying to the academy, I highly encourage you visit our admissions website at academyadmissions.com. Like you see there on the slide, this is going to be your one-stop shop for anything related to the admissions process at the academy. On our website, we've also got a giant COVID-19 banner there at the top. So if you want to see how COVID-19 has impacted the application process and any updates to how COVID-19 will impact the application process, you can click on that banner there and it'll let you know about everything as well. And then here's my contact information. I'll also throw it in the chat highlighted there. Feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call on that phone there. Shoot me a text as well. I'll also throw it in the chat here with a different email, which will be our org box email. So if I'm not able to answer that email, if you send it to our org box, one of the admissions advisors out here in this part of the country will be sure to get that question answered for you guys. Thank you so much and have a wonderful morning, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Colonel Mike McClung and Second Lieutenant Juan Ramos. We will now hear from Major Steve Gilbert from the U.S. Military Academy.
All right, how are you guys doing? Thanks for having me first and foremost. I'm Major Steve Gilbert. I'm the Southwest Admissions Officer up here at West Point. So normally I might be traveling around and seeing you in person, but I am stationed at West Point. I'm a 2010 graduate. My contact information's on there, as well as my tech civilian who helps me out. If you have any questions at any time throughout the process of the next year, we'll be your best points of contact. We specialize in the Southwest region. So without further ado, we'll talk about West Point here. So West Point is the first United States military academy, founded in 1802. But prior to that, it was a garrison during the American Revolution is Fortress West Point. It's the longest and oldest continuously manned military garrison in the United States. It's about an hour north of New York City. It's a quick train ride down there, but a lot of history here at West Point. You know, when you think about West Point, you really start thinking of the people that have come through West Point, whether it's 4- and 5-star generals, you know, 2 U.S. presidents, active and current members of Congress and the Senate. At any given time, when you look in leadership positions, you're going to find West Pointers. You know, whether it's the current Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of Defense before him, or the last Secretary of State, you're going to find West Pointers. And the reason for that is unique to West Point and the Army. You know, our asset that we bring to the fight is people. So, you know, no matter what job you have coming out of West Point, you're going to be in charge of somewhere between 20 and 35 soldiers within 18 months of graduating. And that's a fact. It doesn't matter what job you choose. If you're a pilot, or if you're an infantryman like myself, or you go into med services, or you're an engineer, or you go cyber, you're going to be in charge of soldiers, and that's guaranteed. So it's really important to us, and that's what we focus on for 47 months while you're here with us at West Point. Academically, we've got 36 majors, so that's the most of any service academy. And what you might be interested to see, while we are the oldest engineering school, and our engineering programs are you know, second to none, we do have liberal arts, and you're going to be able to choose any one of these majors that you find interesting to you. You are going to have at least a minor, or we call it a track, in engineering. You'll earn your Bachelor's of Science degree, and we'll make sure you're prepared for your future. You know, one personal example of this, you know, we give a very broad core curriculum of courses that we want to make sure every graduate has in their kit bag when they go out to be an Army officer and into the world. So if you're a nuclear engineer, we're going to make sure you're going to take philosophy, you're going to take military history, you're going to take philosophy and geography. On the flip side of that, if you're a philosophy major, you're going to take those core engineering courses. So we're going to make sure you're well-rounded and prepared once you get out of here. Myself personally, when I left West Point, I had no plans of going to grad school. However, when I decided I wanted to go to grad school and I went and got my MBA, they asked me questions like, had I had financial accounting, had I had economics, and luckily West Point had made me take those classes, and I was able to take advantage of that. As far as military development, obviously you're in military development every day. You're in that environment. We're going to push you. You know, you're going to get pushed mentally and physically through your sports and academics every day, and then your military is going to be a part of that. So during the academic year, you're going to be responsible for other cadets, and you're going to be in a leadership position. And then during the summers, this is really where you're going to be going all over the country and the world. You're going to military schools during the summers. You're going to be doing your leadership details, which is when you're training and mentoring the lower class cadets. Or you're going to be doing, we call them individual advanced developments, as you saw in the video there, but those are really, they can look a lot like internships. You know, you can go, I went to Ukraine while I was a cadet because I was taking Russian, right? And I was working on my Russian, but there's all kinds of different opportunities there. I'm truly amazed talking to cadets, all the cool and interesting things they're able to do. You know, they'll go to the stock exchange for 3 weeks because they're an econ major. You know, really pretty interesting things they're out there doing all the time. And then just to touch on our application, you know, we're going to ask for a lot of the same things as any college. I have some things highlighted on here that are different from us as the other military academies. Just so you have this on your radar. If you do take the ACT, make sure you take it with writing. The SAT is no longer offering the writing portion. So if you take the SAT, that's fine. Either one of those tests is fine, but if you do the ACT, make sure you take it with writing. And then for the CFA, that's the candidate fitness assessment that's shared between us, Navy and Air Force. We do require videos for those 2 highlighted green events. If you take the CFA with Navy or Air Force, that's fine. Just make sure you get us another set of videos of those 2 events when you actually submit it. So those are kind of the key things just to keep in mind as you're filling out your application. I'll be on the chat in the comments. I can answer questions there, and then obviously at the end I'll be able to answer questions. But thanks for having me, and beat Navy.
Thank you, Major Steve Gilbert. And my apologies to Colonel Mike McClung. We noticed your camera went on. Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, sure. Hang on a second. Let me turn it back on. I just wanted to say just a couple things. So I'm Mike McClung. I'm a retired Air Force colonel. I'm a 1993 Air Force Academy graduate, and I wanted to talk to the prospective cadets and midshipmen about just a couple of things, because a lot of what you're going to do in the coming weeks and months is related to the near term. But having just retired a few years ago after 24 years in the Air Force, I wanted to just talk real briefly about the long term and the long-term benefit of sticking through the long nomination and appointment process that you're about to go through. And the benefits are twofold. First, going to one of the service academies and doing a career in the military, forever how long, does a couple things for you that I think are worth the hassle. One, and this goes, in addition to the honor of serving your country, right? I mean, we all know that. You're all patriots, that's why you're here. But in addition to that, you get a bit of life stability, and you also get a network that you can rely on for the rest of your life. And the life stability part is twofold. One is what I'll call professional stability. You're going to get a set of core skills that the lieutenant and major just talked about that you'll use for the rest of your life, right? No matter what your major is, no matter what your profession is in the military, you're going to be able to take those skills post-career and translate those to a profession post your military career. That's where I am now, right? Having retired from the Air Force after 24 years. So that's the first part of the stability angle. The second part is financial stability. Whether you're in for a short period of time or a longer period of time, you get a bit of financial stability. In my case, I did 24 years. I retired as a colonel. I get a pension for the rest of my life, right? And you can go Google, kids nowadays, you can get all the answers at your fingertips. You can figure out after 24 years retiring as a colonel, that's a pretty good pension to provide you a measure of financial stability. So that's the stability angle, both professional and financial. Finally, from the networking aspect, you're going to have a network of service academy graduates and military veterans that you can rely on day in and day out. I work remote here in San Antonio for a Silicon Valley small business. And every day I come into problems that my company can't quite figure out. I have a network of academy graduates at other companies and military veterans that I reach out to, and I can get answers, right? My company is thinking about a new way of making microprocessors or integrating them into our systems. I wanted to find out more about it. I called some veterans and some fellow academy graduates at other companies who are doing the same thing and got all kinds of information. So you'll be able to rely on that network for a long time. So you're going to be, there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of things you got to do just to get into the service academy. And then it's a 4-year process. But in the end, no matter how long your career is, it's worth it because you get a measure of stability, both financially and professionally. And also you get that networking that you can rely on for the rest of your life. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Mike McClung, for that great information. We will now hear from Commander Supply Chain retired Dave Driscoll from the U.S. Naval Academy. Colonel, please unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay, am I on? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, let me go to share screen just for a minute here. I got some slides. Can everyone see the what's up the candidate cycle? And just a little bit about myself. The way we're organized is across the nation. We are all volunteers. You'll find very few active duty Naval Marine Corps officers that are involved in the Blue and Gold program, which is what I'm the area coordinator for Central and South Texas. But I have 43 Blue and Gold officers spread out all the way from Georgetown, Austin, Texas, Del Rio, Laredo, and down in the valley in Corpus Christi, of course. So, but just as a general thing, if you haven't picked it up already, we all service academies are pretty much looking for the same physical and academic profile. So we're all competing for, you know, anyone that gets admitted, it's going to look the same on an Air Force application as they do on the Navy. So you pretty much, it's up to you to choose what it is you think you would like to do for a career program, be it Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Army, Coast Guard, you name it. I wanted to put up the candidate cycle because this process starts your junior year. So and then you can see that applications open for what we call summer seminar. We also have STEM camps that apply from rising 8th graders all the way up through seniors. For the last 2 years, or last year and this year, these have been virtual because of COVID. But generally speaking, what happens is when you apply for these programs, which we still have, but you go and spend a week at the academy. And it's a pretty good, you're not, for STEM, for example, you'll have professors that you'll work alongside, same as the midshipmen, but you'll also have midshipmen side by side. Summer seminar is like a camp, and it will give you a taste of what being a midshipman is like. A lot of physical training, a little bit of academics, but not too much. It'll give you an idea if this is really what you want to do for a career. And then, of course, senior year, you can see where the application deadline is December 31st. We, this year, for example, we extended the deadline out to the end of February, but that's already passed, so it doesn't really matter. Right now, we're in the process of reviewing all applications, and some of the applicants for the class of 25 have already received their letters to report, or as is referred to the thin letter, which means that didn't quite come up to the competitive standards of the rest of the applicants. These are our academic majors. We don't have quite as many as the other schools just mentioned, but look at the bottom, approximately 2/3 of our graduates are expected to complete a STEM major. So that's what's highlighted on here in the blue. You can see that there's, I think there's 26 of them. One that has been added in the last year is cyber operations. You can actually get a degree in that. And we have recently opened a new building on the campus, 6 stories high, that's dedicated to cyber operations. It's named after Admiral Grace Hopper, who has passed away, unfortunately, but she was a leader in the Navy for all things computer. But this is pretty unique, and we've added it. You will, I want to call your attention to the fact that you don't see anything about pre-law or pre-med. We do have graduates that go into those fields, but they're very few and far between and typically rank at the very top of the class. So our approach for your initial interview and application, well, if you come to me or another blue and gold officer and say, well, I want to be a doctor, I'm going to be honest with you, we're going to tell you, you probably should apply to UT Med School or Baylor or someplace that has a very strong medical program. You can do that at the Naval Academy, but it's a very narrow and demanding road because you're going to get a STEM degree. Everybody that graduates, as alluded to with the West Point presenter, you're going to get a Bachelor of Science, even if you major in political science, English, or history. So, and that's going to become apparent here in just a minute. Okay, here's the core curriculum. Technical, and you notice, and this is for everybody. Mathematics, chemistry, physics, engineering, and cyber is recently added. Non-technical is English, history, and so forth. And then we have the professional, which kind of makes the service academies unique, is that you're going to go through all this professional training, including summer training, which gets you ready to become a commissioned officer in the Navy or in the Marine Corps. I like to show this because this is our attrition. Now, you're probably not going to be able to read those numbers down at the bottom, but the last number is the year 2019. Now, the black line is attrition due to all circumstances, which would include medical, or maybe you just dropped out, decided at the end of third class year that you don't really want to do this anymore. The bottom line is really more important, to me at least, is because that's the attrition rate due to academics. So once you get in, we do extraordinary things to keep that down around 1 or 2%. We actually have a building that is dedicated to academic excellence. It's called the Center for Academic Excellence. It's open 7 days a week. It's manned by midshipmen in the top, that might be in the top of a particular field, or professors themselves. But we encourage all the midshipmen to go there and get help, because the program is rigorous and there's no shame in going over there. But the main point is that once you get in, we want you to stay. And so that's the reason for the heavy academic requirements during your submission and the interview process and all those other things that go together. Okay, this is my email, and the reason I put this up here, well, for obvious reasons, but there's something I want to add that's not included in these slides. I have 2 articles. One of them is entitled 20 Things You Need to Know for Entering the Service Academy. And the other one is the process. Each of these is about 6 pages long, so it's not something I like to just hand out. However, if you'll write that email down and send me a request, I will send these things to you. And for what it's worth, these are also excellent guidance for guidance counselors to look at and to help you understand what is involved and go into a service academy. Now, they are slanted toward the Naval Academy. I'll tell you that straight up, but it's very useful information in a general sense. But again, I don't like to post that stuff because it's, as I said, they're about 6 pages each printed out. So there's a lot of information there. And finally, I'd like to go back a minute to the requirements for entry. And I think it was the Air Force presenter put the physical requirements, meaning, push-ups, arm hang, things like that, and medical. Those are two that are sort of pass-fail. If you cannot pass the physical test, then you're probably not going to, well, you aren't going to get selected. I can tell you that straight up. Now, you can retake it and you can train, but the message there is to get in shape and stay in shape. And the other thing is medical. If there's some medical reason that the review board decides that you can't perform your duties, on active duty, then that's a kind of a pass-fail. And admissions, we really have no say over that. I get questions all the time from applicants. Well, I've got this condition or something. I said, look, I can't comment on that and won't comment on it. But we do have medical people on staff, as well as DOPMER, which all of you will go to a doctor for a physical examination, eye tests, and all that sort of stuff. So at this point, it's the end of my slides. If anyone has any questions or you'd like to type them out, whatever, I'll be glad to take a look at it.
Thank you, Commander Driscoll. Next, we have Lieutenant Junior Grade Emily Torsney from the U.S. Coast Guard.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some slides here real quick. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like Commander is still sharing his screen, so I'm unable to do so.
Commander Driscoll, if you could please stop sharing the screen. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, is everything up and running?
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Junior Grade Emily Torsney. I am the Northeast Admissions Officer here at the Coast Guard Academy. So as you're probably catching on to, I'm not your admissions officer, but we have 5 admissions officers here in the office. Yours is Lieutenant Junior Grade Jacob Brown. All of the information can be found on our website, uscga.edu. I'll link all that information below in the chat box once I'm done here with you today. So the United States Coast Guard Academy is located in beautiful New London, Connecticut, nestled in between New York City, Boston, Massachusetts, and Hartford, Connecticut. We're 103 acres in size, and we have a beautiful waterfront area here on the Thames River. So a little bit about the Coast Guard in general. You're hearing a lot about the academies and our missions, as well as the different services that we serve in upon graduation. And the Coast Guard's a little bit different from the other service academies for a few reasons. The first is the Coast Guard itself falls under the Department of Homeland Security, which means we have a humanitarian mission that we focus on. And underneath that umbrella of the humanitarian mission, we conduct a number of statutory missions. So this includes everything from your classic search and rescue, all the way through your drug interdiction, migrant interdiction, law enforcement efforts, as well as kind of more safety related items, such as marine environmental protection, living marine resources, and ports, waterways, and coastal security inspections, things of that nature. So for such a small service, we tend to cover a little bit of everything, and we're actively involved on an operational day-to-day basis. So now going into the mission of the Coast Guard Academy, our mission, similar to the other academies, is to graduate leaders of character who embody our core values. And the core values of the Coast Guard are honor, respect, and devotion to duty. Our Corps of Cadets, a little bit smaller than the other service academies, just under 1,100 students enrolled here at the Academy. We do represent all 50 states as well as 20 nations. We have about 40% female, 35% underrepresented minorities here at the Academy. And then I also just have a few stats for you to look at. Now, these are averages from last year's incoming class. And just because your grades or SAT scores do not look at that does not mean that you cannot apply. Anyone can apply to the Academy. And we conduct what's called a holistic application review, where we take into consideration everything that you have to offer as an applicant. That being said, though, those are the averages. So if you can work towards it, it is beneficial. We do have about 60% of varsity high school athletes in our applicant pools as well. So sports are a huge thing. I'll talk a little bit about more. And then if you don't play sports, we have a number of other programs. So highly selective, 10 to 12% acceptance rate. You do receive the benefits that you would at any of the other service academies. So about $400,000 worth of a tuition-free education, which results in a 5-year service obligation, 100% job placement, medical benefits, that humanitarian mission. And we also have flight school options. So the Coast Guard Academy actually goes on and graduates students to go straight to flight school. And then even as an officer in the fleet, you can apply to flight school year after year until you age out. So we do have a number of operational pilots. And you can fly fixed wing and helos. We also have a number of postgraduate school opportunities, and no congressional nomination is needed. Now, my favorite statistic here is 85% graduate retention rate. So, like I said, you serve a 5-year service obligation after attending the Coast Guard Academy. 85% of those cadets who graduated and completed their 5-year service obligation go on to serve for additional years in the Coast Guard, which is a huge testament to our service as a whole. 3 pillars that the Coast Guard Academy kind of bases its foundation on and builds into your curriculum is military, academics, and athletics, with leadership woven throughout. You're going to hear a lot of buzzwords today, and I know leadership is one of them, as well as character. So leadership and professional development, it's built into your curriculum. We have cadet regimental system where cadets lead cadets. We have training programs, we have exchange programs, and then we operate on an honor concept. 9 academic majors at the Academy all result in a Bachelor of Science. So even your government and your management majors, you are going to get a Bachelor of Science in. We're one of the few schools in the country that offers a Bachelor of Science for a management major, which is equivalent to a business degree. 5 out of the 9 majors are also engineering specific majors. So if you like engineering, we are the place for you. Over 26 varsity athletics here at the Academy. We operate at the D3 level. We do have 3 sports though that are D1, and that's sailing, rifle, and pistol, as well as a number of club sports and what we call intercompany sports, which are similar to intramurals. And I will say, if you are an athlete, now is the best time to reach out to a coach. Begin the conversation, whether you're a freshman or a junior getting ready to apply. Reach out to the coach. You can do so through the website and start the conversation on, kind of how you want to put your application together, how to be competitive to play that sport. In addition to athletics, though, like I said, those aren't everything. They are important. You will be required to complete an athletic credit every semester, but there are plenty of other things offered here at the Academy for you to be involved in. We have over 50 clubs and activities, and if there's something here that you do not see, you can absolutely begin it on your own. One of our larger activities is our music programs as well. So in addition to being maybe an athlete in high school, if you're involved in your music programs, we also recruit musicians. So you can reach out to our band director as well. Cadet summer training program. So every summer you're going to be somewhere where you get to learn more about the fleet and kind of work on that leadership development. Coast Guard Cutter Bark Eagle is a 295-foot tall ship where you'll get to sail on her, and you'll actually get to go into the fleet as well. Application requirements, 100% online. Letters of recommendation, you can do it all through our website, uscga.edu. For personal statements, we're looking for you to be self-motivated. The PFE is a little bit different than the CFA, so you're going to want to know those differences between our physical fitness evaluation and the other service academies. And then when it comes to age requirements, it's pretty much the same. Important dates, these are all listed on our website. We do have an early action and a regular admission pool. And this just gives you an idea from this past year what they looked like. Lastly, just some of our rankings for you to kind of look into. And I will put in a little plug. If you are currently a junior who's on their way to become a senior, our Academy Introduction Mission, or AIM program, is our summer program. The application is open for it. It closes April 15th, so you still have time, and I highly recommend you look into applying, as it will give you the insight into everything in the Academy as you look into seeing if it's the best fit for you. With that being said, I will put that information that I mentioned earlier in the chat box and be standing by to answer any questions.
Thank you, Lieutenant Torsney. Our final speaker will be Lieutenant Commander Tina Shogers and Midshipman Second Class Sean McGarity from the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I just got a text from Midshipman McGarity, who just got logged out of a Zoom account. So hopefully he'll be able to get back on and talk about his experiences. But for right now, I'll just introduce myself. I am Lieutenant Commander Tina Shogers. I am one of the admissions officers, and actually your admissions officer for the state of Texas and 14 other states in the Midwest. I will be actually evaluating your file. So it does help to just send me an email, tell me how you're doing. Academics is obviously very important, but like the other academies, we are looking at a holistic person for the academy. So I am basically one of the gatekeepers of the Merchant Marine Academy, as is the other admissions officers. We do bring in about 280 applicants or appointees to the academy each year. And it's a very competitive process. All right, so I will go ahead and share my slides here because I don't see Midshipman McGarity on right now. He was here, I do vouch for him. Okay. I hope everyone see that.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. All right, so our academy is pretty small. We're on 83 acres in Long Island in Nassau County, New York. We're about a half an hour east of Manhattan, and that is the Long Island Sound right there. And our academy, again, is pretty small. So what are you going to earn as a graduate? You're going to get 3 things in your tube when you walk across that stage at graduation. You'll earn a Bachelor of Science degree. You'll earn a commission as an ensign in the Navy Reserve. And to balance that out, you'll earn a U.S. Coast Guard license as either a Merchant Marine officer, as a Merchant Marine officer, either as a third mate or a third assistant engineer, depending upon your major. And this is for unlimited tonnage and unlimited horsepower vessels. So your obligation after graduation, you'll work in the maritime industry for 5 years. You'll serve in the Coast Guard. You'll maintain your Coast Guard license for 6 years, and you'll serve in the Navy Reserve or any other reserve component you'd like for 8 years. So the box on the top there in blue is your reserve duty component. If you are going reserve duty, you will need to work in the maritime industry. And your bottom portion there is for those who are looking to go active duty into the military. So you'll serve active duty with probably 3 years reserve duty on top of that. And again, it's really up to you what your choice of branch of military would be. So if you're interested in Coast Guard, interested in Marine Corps, you can decide that upon graduation. All right, so we have 5 majors. The 2 on the top are considered your deck license majors, and the 3 on the bottom are the engine license majors. So we have 5 majors, unfortunately, a lot less if you're looking for something like history or psychology. We are not the place for you, but we do focus on the maritime industry. So we'll have those majors for you. Engineering being a very popular one is on the bottom there. We're a Division III athletics program. These are the athletics programs that we have at the campus. And we do have some club sports as well. We do have intercollegiate sports. We have club sports. And if there's something that we don't have that you'd like to start as far as a club goes, then you'll just talk to the folks on starting a club, and you'll get a budget and you'll have to follow some rules, but that's something that we have a popular thing on campus. We also have a band. Our band is pretty popular, actually. It has its own company, and it does get up and rehearse a lot of the time during the day, but they'll do some very popular events, the inauguration. They'll go into the town of Great Neck, which is right where our academy is. They'll do some parades there. But this is all, pre-pandemic, so hopefully we'll get up and running again. But we do have a midshipman run band. We do have several orchestra clubs and smaller bands as well, trios and quad other things. I'm sorry. We do have a waterfront program. All of our vessels are midshipman run again, and all of this happens right on the Sound, obviously. And you could participate if you have experience and if you don't have experience. So you'll talk to the waterfront department as far as, joining a club or possibly using one of the vessels that we have down there. All right, and Sea Year is probably the most important and most unique thing about the Merchant Marine Academy is what we call Sea Year. Sea Year is divided up between 2 semesters, and it's such a great program. You get to go out to sea with another midshipman. You'll get to travel the world. It's split up between your sophomore and your junior year. You'll visit about 15 to 18 different countries, and you'll get paid while you're doing that. So you might be on a commercial vessel with another midshipman, actually working in the positions that you'll be when you go out into the real world. So these are just some of the locations that our midshipmen have been to. If it's a safe port, obviously go down and wander around and visit. And then when you're due back on the ship, you'll have that time to get back on the ship. All right, and I'll put my information down in the chat. And if you have any other questions, I don't see that Midshipman McGarity got a chance to get back on, so I apologize. He had a much better presentation prepared than I did, so I apologize about that, but I'm here. Our admissions information is on the website. My contact information is on the website as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Commander Tina Schoggers. It was a great presentation. At this time, I would like to thank all of our panelists for participating today. So thank you all so much. And to all of y'all, if you were unable to get your question, please contact Congressman Vela's district office at 956-276-4497. Also, the contact information has been posted in the chat box. If you have any more questions or anything else we can help you with, please don't hesitate to call. This concludes our program, and thank you for attending Congressman Vela's Service Academy Day. Please feel free to reach out to us in our district office. Thank you.